has a problem. Federal highway safety officials said today the cause of those so-called runaway Toyotas, cars taking off on their own up to 100 miles an hour, was still under active investigation and not resolved as Toyota had suggested. Until today, Toyota had solely blamed the wrong size floor mats hitting the gas pedal or driver error. With an estimated 16 deaths connected to the problem through lawsuits and police reports, a number of Toyota owners have been coming forward to claim there's much more to it than floor mats. It's a kind of Toyota owners' rebellion, spurred on by what happened on this San Diego highway in August.
911 emergency, what are you reporting?
California Highway Patrol Officer Mark Saylor was in a 2009 Lexus with his wife, daughter, and brother-in-law when the car took off on him. This is what it looks like in a car going 50 miles an hour on that highway. This is what it looks like double to approximate the 100-mile-an-hour speed Saylor reached.
Our accelerator's stuck. We're in trouble. There's no brakes.
Saylor's brother-in-law, Chris Lestrella, called 911 for the back seat as the car raced out of control.
Okay, and you don't have the ability to, turn the vehicle off or anything?
We're approaching an intersection. Hold on, please.
All 4 people in the runaway car died after the Lexus hit a vehicle, crashed into an embankment, and burst into flames, an incident that made headlines around the world. In Tokyo, the president of Toyota, Akio Toyoda, formally apologized. "I offer my deepest condolences," he said. Toyota quickly said it had found the problem. The wrong-sized all-weather rubber floor mat in the car was pushed forward and caught the gas pedal like this, holding it down. The company ordered a huge floor mat recall for 3.8 million cars. The federal government urged consumers to follow Toyota's recommendation. "I can't begin to express my remorse," said the Toyota president. What he did not say, however, but what people at his company know, is that there have been plenty of accidents and incidents involving runaway Toyotas, which the drivers insist had nothing to do with floor mats.
I'm absolutely certain that in my situation, it was not the floor mats.
Outside Denver, on Interstate 70, Elizabeth James' Toyota Prius suddenly shot up to 90 miles an hour and would not stop, even though she says her foot had not even been on the accelerator.
I kept going faster and faster, and all of a sudden, my foot was pressing on the brake super, super hard, and I wasn't slowing down.
She drove her Prius into a field and crashed it into a river to finally stop.
I kept saying that to myself, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive.
In Portland, Oregon, Mariana Eisner's Lexus crashed into a truck after it shot out of control on the freeway in September.
I did have a fleeting thought that this may be the day I die.
She says she had already heard about the floor mat problem and made a point of checking hers.
The mat was nowhere near the accelerator.
There is clearly an uprising amongst Toyota and Lexus owners. This problem can't be explained solely by floor mats.
Auto safety analyst Sean Kane, who works with government regulators, plaintiffs' lawyers, and the auto industry, says he has tracked more than 2,000 reports of runaway Toyotas over the last 10 years through lawsuits, police reports, and complaints to the federal government.
The data clearly tells us there's something going on. There's no question the numbers in Toyota today are showing up at greater numbers than other manufacturers.
While Toyota continues to blame only the floor mats or driver error, there is growing suspicion by some owners about a glitch of some kind in the electronic computer control system used in Toyotas. What most drivers may not know is that the gas pedal, in Toyotas and most cars now, no longer directly feeds gas to the engine, but instead simply sends an electronic signal to the car's computer.
It's no longer a mechanical link between your foot and the engine anymore.
Safety analysts say the number of complaints about runaway Toyotas took off after 2002, the same year the company went to an all-computer and wire system with no mechanical fallback.
Are floor mats causing some of the problem? Sure, they probably are, but the electronics, you can't discount the electronics given all of the things that are going on, given all of the reports, given all of the evidence.
Welcome to CarsExplained.com. I'm Michael, and this evening we're going to be discussing some of the recent news over the last couple of years about Toyota and some of the recalls. So, for several years in recent history, one of the most successful car makers ever to sell and manufacture vehicles on U.S. soil has been marked by bad press and consumer complaints. Toyota, a name synonymous with reliability, quality, and high resale values, came under scrutiny in October 2009 regarding issues of stuck accelerator pedals and uncontrollable acceleration of the car. These reports were brought to the attention of the National Highway Traffic Safety Institute, with several incidents resulting in wrecks and even fatalities. The event was referred to by industry representatives as sudden acceleration because both scenarios resulted in the driver's inability to slow or stop the vehicle safely. It's important to distinguish that an overwhelming majority of these failures were the result of people double stacking floor mats, placing Toyota all-season accessory floor mats on top of their existing cloth units. This would allow the floor mats to shift under normal driving until wedged up under the accelerator pedal and sometimes the brake pedal as well. Double stacking floor mats is something that should never be done to any vehicle regardless of make. Despite this oversight that might have fallen on the shoulders of the consumer and the new car sales departments who delivered the new vehicles to the consumer, Toyota ultimately paid out over $48 million to cover these separate fines under the U.S. Department of Transportation over a 2.5-year period, according to an article from AOLautos.com. These fines were the result of consumer complaints from owners of both Toyota and Lexus vehicles, concentrated on vehicles primarily from model years 2008 to 2011. And in an effort to learn what sacrifices and efforts Toyota has made in order to correct this issue and regain consumer confidence, we're meeting with James, a technician from a Toyota dealership in Tulsa, Oklahoma. James, come on over, sir.
Hi.
Thank you for meeting with us. So, just basic questions. First off, how long have you been a technician with Toyota?
8 years.
Excellent. As a tech, when did you first have vehicles coming in diagnosed with these issues with the accelerator pedal?
It was 2009 whenever the recall first got released.
Excellent. How did Toyota notify its customers of the issue?
Toyota sent out a letter, it's called a dealer letter, and customers obviously already knew through media outlets that the recall was being released.
Okay. The accelerator pedals that are receiving so much scrutiny and attention from the media are all actually made by two third-party companies, which is CTS and Denso, respectively. What work has been performed to correct these issues with the accelerator pedals?
We've modified the pedal, shortened it up a little bit, that way it's not so close to the floor. So if there were to be floor mats stacked, it'd be less likely for them to get wedged down. For the accelerator pedal, I actually get wedged by the floor mat if it were to shift while driving.
Okay. Have any software modifications needed to be performed?
A few of the makes had different, or a few of the different models had different reflashes. Basically, what happens, the computer gets reflashed so that if it sees a stoplight switch be activated while accelerator pedals push down, it basically cancels any accelerator actions that's going on.
Understood. Lastly, James, what, if anything, would you like to clarify for current Toyota owners as well as prospective Toyota buyers in the future that may not fully understand, the nature of these issues?
Just be cautious. Use some common sense. Don't stack anything that could possibly be wedged underneath the gas pedal. It's not necessarily a Toyota-only issue. It could happen with any make or model. Just be aware.
Understood. Well, James, thank you for meeting with us and thank you for giving us this interview on CarsExplained.com. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So to continue our discussion on Toyota and the investigation of any floor mat issues, we have a owner of a 2010 Toyota 4Runner here, Ms. Linda Gonzalez, who's hiding over there in the shade. Hello. Thank you for doing this with us. Sure. We'll go over here and take a look real quick at the floorboard area. So, as we can see, in Linda's vehicle, we have hooks that properly secure the floor mat, as you can see right here. And that keeps it from sliding in place. And her accelerator pedal from the factory was already way too short to be any hindrance or any issue. Clearly, if there was a problem in older models, they corrected it on hers. The only question we really had at this point then, Linda, is have you had anything in the mail or anything come to you, any notifications from Toyota at all about recalls, things like that?
No recall letters or anything like that, but I did receive a postcard about class action lawsuit being part of that.
Gotcha. And yeah, we looked at that. It looked like it may have been a third party, not necessarily from Toyota, but still something to be aware of.
Right.
So, Well, Celinda, thank you for meeting with us. Thank you for donating your Toyota to let us look at it.
Sure.
Thank you for tuning in to CarsExplained.com. We're continuing our Toyota discussion, and we have two very proud Toyota owners here with us. We have Sarah and Byron French, and they each have two different Toyotas. So, Byron, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about your Matrix.
I bought it in 2006 after test driving several different cars. I thought this was the best feel. I wanted a car that had the hatchback, space to store junk and move things around. Gets great gas mileage. It was a good deal at the time for the cars that were on the market, and I've been very pleased with it ever since I've owned it for those 6.5 years.
So, and you're a really good person to talk to about this because you've had it for such a long time, and it is still a current vehicle as far as late model. Were you at all worried? Did you have any issues at all when all the Toyota recalls came out in late 08 through 09?
I of course paid attention to all the news of everything going on, even though my car wasn't directly impacted by those year models that were being recalled. But really, I haven't had any issues with the car, and I would continue to buy a Toyota. We're actually thinking about what car would we get next to replace this one, because it's getting up a little age in miles, and we would consider getting a Toyota, certainly.
Excellent. Sarah, tell us a little bit about your Corolla.
Well, I have a 2010 Corolla, and it is actually the same model of the car. That was the first car I had. But previously I had a 2009 Corolla. Love the car, love the gas mileage. It's perfect size for me. But I was in an accident and the car was totaled, unfortunately. But I did not even consider getting another car. I wanted the exact same model. I even wanted the exact same year, but I did find this 2010 Corolla that was used. And so I got it. So it's the same car, just 1 year newer. And I've been very happy with it. It's great, like Byron said, great gas mileage, and we've gone a lot of places in it, so it's perfect.
Excellent. So now what we're doing is we're looking at the inside of Byron's Matrix. Again, the vehicle's a 2006, and we're going to look down the floorboard here. So what's interesting is most of the recalls really came to light in late 08, 2009, and vehicles affected went back to 2008. But even if we look at this 06, we notice a couple of different things here that are very important. One of which is, again, like the 2010 4Runner we looked at, that's the clips that hold the mats in place so they can't possibly move. The other is, if we look a little bit deeper up in the footwells, the gas pedal is very short. There's no possible way for it to make contact with that floor mat, even in this vehicle if there was another floor mat double stacked on top of it. So we have a safe vehicle here. The other thing worth noting is we're going to move around to the hood. And a lot of complaints from people were about possible conundrums with the computer controlling the accelerator and consumers not being able to stop. And in this case, this is a 2006 vehicle, very late model, and we still have actual mechanical linkage to the accelerator pedal. So the other one we're going to look at is Sarah's Corolla. And of course, we look over here, the throttle body, there's not much going on with it because it is a drive-by-wire, it's all electrical. But as we go around, and if you take a look, see that first number? It is a 2010 with the letter A designates. So on the floor mats in hers, again, we have the clips, standard feature on just about every Toyota we've looked at. And further up into the footwell, as you can see, a very short accelerator pedal. So again, it looks like Toyota's gone to great lengths to either correct the issue, or there are a lot more vehicles that were simply not affected than what the public statements in the media would have us believe. So we're back with Sarah and Byron, and really last questions we'd have is, given everything that's gone on and everything we've looked at today, do you think you'll still continue to be Toyota customers in the future?
Absolutely, I think so. We're not really concerned about the recalls. We've had great experiences with our cars, and be happy to have it.
Yeah, I've been a Toyota owner for many years, and every time that I go in and take my car in for service, the folks there at the dealership are great. When we bought Sarah's car, the folks at the dealership are great. We trust the company, we trust our cars that we own, so we definitely continue to be owners.
That's excellent. That tells us everything we were looking for. Thank you so much for meeting with us and for letting Cars Explained talk to you about the subject.